Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is my 2024 BMW M2 and my 2024 Tesla Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive. And in this video, we're going to take a drive in the M2. It's Christmas morning, so Merry Christmas to all you guys out there. We're going to take a drive in the M2 and we're going to talk about some future cars that I'm thinking of replacing this car with, or just adding a third vehicle. Because I could, if the right deal comes up or the right car, I could technically be in the market for one of these cars now. So this is something that could happen, relatively soon. And this vehicle, if you guys don't know, is a lease. So that's ending in about 8 months. And I'm getting kind of close to the end of the miles because I drive a lot. So yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Let's hop in the M2. Let's get this thing started up. It does have remote start. So let's get that going right now. Not bad for quiet mode. All right, guys, we are taking an early morning Christmas cruise in the M2, and we're going to talk about some cars. So I got a few little categories for you guys. So I have sports cars I'm considering. I have daily driver type vehicles I'm considering, and I also have some honorable mentions, right? Because I'm a car guy. I love all different kinds of cars. I could respect a luxury cruiser like a 7 Series or an A8. I can respect a sports car that's fun like a Miata or BRZ. So I have interest in all different kinds of vehicles. But let's first start off with sports car. So one of the cars I've been considering is the new Nissan Z. So kind of like my M2, even though it's getting more popular now, it's kind of a unique vehicle. You don't see them all the time, right? It's not always hyped up all the time. You know, when they first came out, you know, they were over sticker and stuff, but that's just because the market back then. But it's one of those cars that's kind of like, you know, you don't really see a lot of it. You don't see a lot of content, or you don't see a lot of spotlight on that car. And I think it's pretty cool. I'd get a manual one. I know it's way slower than the automatic, but if I want to go fast, I'll just drive this car. I'd get a manual one just for the fun part of it. You know, it still has 400 horsepower. It's plenty fast, rear wheel drive. Just sounds like a fun car to, you know, just mess around with. And dealers are discounting them pretty heavily, at least the 25s. I don't know what it'll be like going into 26. But you can get it for like upper 30s, like a sport trim. Like I wouldn't get the performance trim. I'm not trying to spend a bunch of money on just a fun little runaround car. So I'd get like the sport trim, like the more basic one. But it sounds like a fun car to just mess around with. So that's one. Another option is a used Camaro SS with a manual. And the reason why it's used, because obviously they don't make Camaros anymore. So I'd have to get a used one. I'd want the manual because it has the Tremec TR6060, which is an incredible manual transmission. I've driven a 6th gen Camaro SS with the manual and they drive incredible. So that's a car I'd really like to have. I also kind of miss having a V8. If you guys have watched my channel for a really long time, I used to have a 2020 Mustang GT 10-speed. And I do love the V8 sound. So that's one option. You can get those for like, you know, around 30, 34, you know, before taxes, obviously. Another option kind of along those lines is a C7 Corvette. I love Corvettes. It's in my name. JVET is because of a Corvette. And I love the C7. I love the C6 too, but it's just a little too old. You know, I mean, not to say I wouldn't still be open to it, but I kind of like the C7. It's kind of like the perfect blend of modern. It's the last front engine Corvette, and I really like it. So that's another option I'm considering. I'd also get a manual in that because the 8-speed auto, even though it's still technically a little bit faster than the manual, it's like, I don't know, like it's decent, but it's just not great. It's not like a ZF 8-speed in this car, right? And the manual is really good. It's a Tremec. I think they call that the TR6070 because it's a 7-speed manual. But I would love to have a C7 Corvette. That's a little bit on the pricey side though. Like they're kind of old now, like, you know, 8, 9 years old. And, you know, to get like one with like somewhat lower miles, like in the 30s or 40s, you're still spending almost like 40 grand on that car. Okay, this truck is definitely not staying in his lane. It's a little expensive. Corvettes have kind of gone up. Like before like COVID time, like 5 years ago, the Corvettes were such a good price, but now they're just like, they're so expensive now. But I still love the C7 Corvette, so that's another option I'm considering. And by the way, guys, like I mentioned, these are sports cars I'm considering. So that'd be like a third car, right? Something to have fun with, make content with, maybe do some racing. Another option, this is kind of out of the blue, and I got this option brought up to me by one of my Instagram buddies, Derek. Shout out to you if you're watching this video. Use C63S. Like, the C63s are really cool too. I mean, I used to watch Autovlog when he had his C63S coupe. You know, I loved watching his videos on that car. I'm like, man, that's a really cool car. But obviously at the time I was a lot younger. I didn't even have a car yet. I was like in 2017 when he had that. And obviously, you know, that's just way out of my range as a kid. I'm like, I won't even be able to buy that car, but it's great watching videos on it. But now, you know, I'm thankfully in a position to where I can buy one of those. You know, even though it's used now, I'd still be able to buy one. And they're actually really cool. I like the V8. They're really fast. They sound good. They have a nice, you know, interior. So that's another option I'm considering. And that would be kind of more on like the lines of like, kind of like a sports car, but also kind of like a daily type vehicle too. Even though, you know, it's going to be an expensive car to daily between tires, maintenance, gas, and all that stuff. We know how that works. But that's another option. And then before we get to the daily category, an honorable mention, and this is also kind of like a sports car slash daily, CT5V Blackwing. I really like those vehicles. I raced one in this car, but I think it was hot out or whatever. The M2 maybe is just faster. But the CT5V Blackwing is a really cool vehicle. I love the way it sounds. You know, I like the horsepower and everything, the V8 and all that. And I'd really like to have one. The only thing is that car is just a little too expensive for what I'm trying to accomplish. Like, I don't want to have my Tesla, the M2, and a CT5V Blackwing. Like, that's just a little too much going on. So that car I'd love to have. It's just a little too expensive for what I'm trying to spend. But now, let's go ahead and jump into the daily category, like daily cars I'm considering, where, like, let's say my Tesla leases up in 8 months, I can still continue driving this vehicle because it's a great daily driver. You guys already know, I've talked about it a million times, GTI or Golf R. I like the new one. I like the little updates they did. The screen tacked on looks a little funny, but I like the new one still. And, you know, I can get a GTI because they have discounts on them. I can get a GTI for probably around like 34, 35, like an SE trim. You know, it's after taxes and stuff, probably like 39 out the door. But that's a great car. Like, I loved my GTI. I got it to be just an expensive daily when I first got my red one. And it was so great. Like, I really, really like that car. Really good gas mileage, super fun to drive. It's quick, right? Now, it's not like anything like this, but it's plenty quick for a daily driver. Runs on 87. It's really a great vehicle. So that's another one I'm considering, highly considering. Golf R, of course, right? It's just got to spend more money to get a Golf R. And I will feel kind of silly because I already had one and I got rid of it, but it is what it is. So is life. Another Golf R, you know, that's like 48, 49,000. You know, after taxes, you're probably looking at like 53 out the door on that one. Another vehicle, used Audi A6 3.0 or an Audi S6. So that's another car I actually looked at a while back, and I ultimately stayed with my Golf R because I liked it better. But that'd be a new experience, like a luxury cruiser type vehicle, where it's not so much into the performance realm, but more into like the luxury and the cruiser, and, you know, everything, nice materials, and, you know, everything's comfortable. So that's a car I'd consider getting as well. And kind of along those lines, this one's a little bit more expensive, a little bit more, you know, up there, but an Audi S8. Like, those are, I feel like those are very underrated cars and very rare cars. That's literally the Lamborghini Urus engine. I mean, not quite the same tuning and everything, but that's literally the Lamborghini Urus engine in a big luxury executive sedan. And I think those are pretty cool. I mean, you know, yeah, it's like grandpa's sedan, but it's still a cool vehicle, and it'd be like a new experience for me, because the whole thing is like kind of having like a new experience. That's why I'm looking at like manual sports cars and stuff like that. Just something that's kind of like a new experience that I haven't had already. But let me know what you guys think of that Audi S8. I mean, those are cool. 563 horsepower. It does like a mid 3 0 to 60. It's incredibly fast. You know, the only downside to that obviously would be like the maintenance, insurance, registration. You know, it's just an expensive car. Another one along the lines of Audi. And now some people may think I hate Audi just because I had a bad experience with my RS3. I don't hate Audi. I like the way their cars are. I think they're great mixture between like sport and luxury. So I don't hate Audi at all. It's just my specific RS3 I wasn't a huge fan of. But I've driven the A6 3.0, I believe, and I've also driven the S6. I've driven an S5, and those vehicles all have great daily driver power bands. So they're not like my RS3 where the power band was very peaky and not very daily driver friendly. Those cars have good daily driver power bands, and they have the ZF8 speed and all that. So those are good vehicles. Another option, which some of you guys that watch my Tesla videos might really like, is a used 2024 plus Model 3 Performance. You know, it'd be just like my long range, but just with more speed. And I love my long range in terms of a daily driver. But again, I kind of want to try something new. Yes, the Tesla Model 3 Performance is much faster than my long range, but it's still the same vehicle. So I feel like I've kind of already experienced the Model 3, and I'd even consider getting like one of these vehicles on my list and then having like a base model Model 3 as the daily driver. So then I have 3 vehicles, which is not very practical, but 3 vehicles and then a cheap Model 3 daily that I just use to go to work, and that's it. And then 2 fun cars I can use to take to car meets and make content on and stuff like that. So that's another option. I do really love the Model 3 Performance. It's a great car, probably the best daily, but I kind of want to try something different, and I hope that makes sense. Also, some people might talk about like a Model S Plaid. I rented one for 3 days, just not for me. I love how fast it is, but it's just not for me. Like, the car just feels kind of old. It doesn't, I mean, it has great technology, obviously it's still Tesla, but the car just feels old. The buttons on the steering wheel are not, that you can't push them in. They're completely haptic, or whatever you call it, capacitive, whatever it is. Just, I don't know. I just don't really like the Model S that much. And, you know, sorry to offend anybody that likes the Model S or whatever. It's incredibly fast, it's cool, but just not for me. I like the Model 3 so much better. Model Y, some people might be like, oh, the new Model Y, that's a great car, Model Y Performance. That's fantastic. If I had a family, all day I'd get the Model Y Performance. But I don't need that much space. I don't need that much, I don't need that much space. I don't need that much room. I don't need all that practicality. I like cars. I'm not an SUV or truck guy. I just don't like SUVs and trucks. For me, I respect their purpose, right? But just not for me. I just don't like those types of vehicles. Kind of want to tear up this corner, but this car is like in 2 lanes. Like, what is this? Probably gonna do a left turn cut, so we got to watch out for that too. Yep, well, sort of. Another daily I'm considering is a Honda Civic Si. Now, a lot of you guys probably don't know this, but I actually ordered a 2022 Honda Civic Si when they first came out. I found a dealer to sell it at MSRP, because that's back during COVID time. Remember, everything's 5K over, you know, 7K over on SIs, which is crazy, but that's just the market at that time. But I found a dealer in Illinois to sell it at MSRP, and I was gonna buy a Civic Si, but then I bought the GTI before it came in and ended up loving the GTI. So I never ended up buying that Civic Si. But that's a car I'd be interested in experiencing. You know, it's a manual, right? So it's kind of something different there. It's like a daily driver type vehicle, so if the Tesla leases up, I can use that car in the meantime, you know, while I look for something else or whatever. Decent resale value, right? The SIs. So like, that's another car I'm considering. It is very slow, and you know, after being so used to the Tesla, it might be kind of frustrating, but maybe I'd enjoy it just because it's a manual, right? So even though it's slow, it has a manual, so it might be kind of fun. But yeah, that car is slower than freaking minivans and stuff. Like, it's pretty rough. But again, the purpose of that car is to be a fun little, you know, little bit of pep, still good gas mileage, this and that. And I can respect that, right? And it's inexpensive too, so it's on the kind of like the lower end of the list as far as like price, which I like. All right, guys, we're on my phone camera. The GoPro just died. But one more thing. What was the car I was missing? Mustang GT. I work at a Ford dealership. I can get a decent deal on one, but already had it. You know, I already know what they're like. The new one's not much different. I love it, it's cool, but I just, again, want to try something different. So I don't think I'll get another Mustang GT unless they had like some blowout, like super huge discounts or something on them. And you know, if some of you guys are wondering, how come you didn't say any BMWs, like a 540i or maybe like an M850 or something like that? I love BMWs, obviously, as you guys know, but I just don't want two, right? Because then I have two cars that have the same infotainment, two cars that have the same key fob, two cars that have the same interior chimes and all that. Like, I want cars that are different. Like, my Model 3 long range is completely different than this car. When I had my Golf R, completely different than this car, right? So I like stuff that's different, variety, you know, so I can have two different types of like driving and ownership experiences. And then the last one also I was thinking of is a BRZ. I forgot to mention that. I do like the BRZs. I think they're fun, and it's also very affordable. I'd get like a slightly used one. I wouldn't mind getting a used BRZ. I wouldn't want to spend the money on a new one. I don't think it's worth it. So use one that's like 25, 24 grand, you know, with like 20, 30,000 miles, whatever. I'd be okay with that, you know, something like that. So let me know what you guys think of those options. I know that's a ton of different vehicles, but I'm open to all kinds of different things. I want to hear what you guys would like to see content on, or what you guys think might be interesting. I'm going to do one poll for you guys if you stayed all the way to the end in the M2 here, even though I'm running out of gas. I'll do one poll for you guys. All right, here we go. Let's see if it gets traction. Oh my god. Oh, this car's so fast. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. I literally turn into the Pillsbury Doughboy when I drive this car. It's just so fun. This is going uphill. Didn't go full throttle because it was a corner, but oh my goodness. See, I'll always have this car. The only way this car will be replaced is probably for another one if they come out with like an all-wheel drive one or something like that. But I absolutely love it. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, I know it's kind of long, but I was just sharing my thoughts, what's on my head. Please give this video a like and subscribe. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.